And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. Come on. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Derek Barnett in there for a milestone sack as that moves him past Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, who finished his career with 141.5. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. Showed a good move, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. It's a second down run with Sanders. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him.
And I think the ball's out. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on third and just a yard.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, first down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Lefty.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Wentz to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Matthew Ioannidis in there to drop him at sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
Well, no, it takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Matt Ioannidis picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. That one complete. He finds Sharp. Touchdown, Philadelphia! DJ Chark, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Running to start the drive is Love. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Check three.
On 2nd down, Love. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now for Love. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the draw, this is Love. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Miles Sanders, an even 90 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's Haskins. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's got some space here. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on, just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A first update now from Cleveland. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now a carry for Sanders. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Bound to lose one. Here. I got it. 4 Tokyo.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
3 down.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. And he's going to go down again. Matthew Ioannidis. And the Redskins will take control of the football in great field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Looking to throw, Haskins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Haskins. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Wentz on the give to Sanders. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary.
Mike 35, Mike 35.
Working from the gun, Wentz. The open man is Shark. It's complete. He's at the 40, 20, 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DJ Chark, 78 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Haskins to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Andrews. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Haskins will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrett Davis with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll run. It's Sanders. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts this down to a 3rd and about 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what kind of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Another run here with Sanders. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. Shark's got it left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
All day, every day, any day. 25, check 25, check 25.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Could also result in a melee later, though. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Love here. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Haskins complete. Richardson has it. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Completes it to Lee. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. The Redskins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, and it's third down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, but I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Wynn's going to try and throw on third. And he connects with Ertz. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Wentz to throw. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no
Maybe
doubt
some
about
pretzels, too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.